Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Wednesday meditation gathering. I'm so glad you're all here to share this time together. This week we have Andreas Prohl, who will lead us in meditation, and then we'll have 20 minutes of silence. And after that, we'll open it up for sharing. We end about 10:45. Over to you, Andreas.
Thank you. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Teresa. And thank you for sharing this moment with me and looking at a very crucial idea. I'm so glad to be here, and I'm sorry I couldn't make it last time. I had to follow an appointment with the doctor of my son. The happier I am today to be with you again. And I want to share one crucial idea about how the Holy Spirit works, because we usually come to Him because we see a problem here or there, and we have an explanation why we don't feel well, because there's some pain or fear or sorrow, or just something that we see as a unfortunate situation, and we ask for help, so the Holy Spirit helps us in this situation. However, the Holy Spirit does not change the form, but He looks at the cause for our suffering, and this is always beyond the form, because here we are completely ignorant of the cause for this dream. We forgot that we made this up, and we forgot that we are actually causing this entire scenario here, in whatever form it may take. So Jesus says, well, the first dream that we began to share was that there was a tiny mad idea, and the Holy Son of God remembered not to laugh about it. So it seemed to be a real cause, and it seemed to make up real effects, and we are experiencing this as the world as we see, as the life that we lead, as the person that we believe to be. And yet, this is not who we truly are, and the cause of suffering is not what we perceive it to be. And I would like to share something from the textbook as a starting point for our meditation. And it's from chapter 27:8, The Hero of the Dream. And here it says, "The secret of salvation is but this, that you are doing this unto yourself. No matter what the form of the attack, this still is true. Whoever takes the role of enemy and of attacker, this is still the truth. Whatever seems to be the cause of any pain and suffering you feel, this is still true. For you would not react at all to figures in the dream you knew that you were dreaming. Let them be as hateful and as vicious as they may, they could have no effect on you unless you failed to recognize it is your dream. The single lesson learned will set you free from suffering, whatever form it takes. The Holy Spirit will repeat this one inclusive lesson of deliverance until it has been learned, regardless of the form of suffering that brings you pain. Whatever hurt you bring to Him, He will make answer with this very simple truth. For this one answer takes away the cause of every form of sorrow and of pain. The form affects His answer not at all, for He would teach you but the single cause of all of them, no matter what their form. And you will understand that miracles reflect the simple statement, I have done this thing, and it is this I would undo. Bring then all forms of suffering to Him, to the Holy Spirit, who knows that everyone is like the rest. And I would like to open up the meditation with this idea. Bring every form of suffering to the Holy Spirit, who knows that everyone is like the rest, and he will undo the cause of the suffering within our mind. And we are open for the experience of this, to really learn this one inclusive lesson. And I don't know if we have a bing or a dong or something to start our meditation time. Bring then all forms of suffering to the Holy Spirit.
Open your eyes slowly and come back into the room. We have about 20 minutes left for sharing your reflections and your questions. If you'd like to speak, raise your hand, or you can use the reactions button at the bottom of the screen, and I'll invite you to take yourself off of mute. And if you'd like to ask a question or leave a comment with confidentiality, put your message in the chat function at the bottom of the screen, and I'll read it out. Who'd like to say something? Jim, please take yourself off of mute.
Thank you, Darren. I've got quite an immediate situation because 10 minutes before this call, I had a business call with somebody, and something was said which I felt was a betrayal, a personal betrayal, and it really hit me quite badly. And I've been working with this during the meditation. The first step for me was to take it away from me personally and see others who might benefit from this, which of course is still at the level of form. So that was just the first step. And I'm still working with it, but this idea that we created everything that we experience is one that I still struggle with. I can see it in terms of cause and effect, but the idea that before we came into this world, the whole of life and everything that happens within it was chosen by us. The whole play, the whole script was somehow chosen by us. And of course, our only choice in any moment is to follow that script that we chose, or to move over to the Holy Spirit script, which is the work going on at the moment. But I don't know whether you can say anything about this idea that the ego shows every detail of our lives, which is what I understood as the teaching. How the ego chooses every detail of our lives, when in a lot of situations it can be quite painful. Is it simply to maintain its existence, which it could do in other ways, I'm sure. When the ego is very clever, it can maintain its existence without causing a lot of pain. So why does it do this? Is it simply the original guilt it wants to somehow, I don't know, pay back for? Is it, I don't know. These are just questions I'm throwing in the air. And moving from the form to the pure sense of being in a situation where we feel betrayed. I mean, I suppose I need a bit more guidance on that process and moving totally away from the level of form. So that's it. Thank you. Andreas? Anything you'd like to say, please?
Yes, James, thanks for sharing. Yeah, awesome. Well, my understanding of this is that I chose everything I experienced. So it was really my intention to make up something that's totally opposite to God. Because I did not remember to laugh at the tiny mad idea. So of course there was immediately the idea of guilt, you know, the son of God, or the son that wandered away from his father and didn't want to return to him because he felt guilty. And so, you know, it's really like a hiding game. I'm trying to hide from God here. I'm trying to hide from everything that is and that I am. So it was really me. Like there was no separate ego that did something for me, but I choose to think in ego terms, in ego laws, and made the whole thing up. So since the cause of this is, yeah, just this tiny mad idea, the Holy Spirit undoes this, and I can experience a different interpretation of what I made. I can experience a different purpose and different, quality, a different quality while I perceive myself here. And the process that you described is a wonderful demonstration of purification, basically. You know, like there's all sorts of ideas and images and past lessons that rise to the surface, and through your mind training and your understanding, you can choose to move past that without really making the alternative. You know, I'm not responsible for making up the alternative or making up what God may think, but I choose to think in his terms. I join with his thoughts. I choose miracles, and the entire situation can be seen as an opportunity. You know, like the betrayal part really means, okay, someone did something to me, and Jesus teaches this is actually what I believe that I did to someone else. So now it's looking back at me. I'm seeing my own thoughts looking back at me, and I see them outside myself. And I don't really want to play that game anymore, you know, especially if it gets so intense, you know, the anger, the fear, the guilt, the attack thoughts that come up. I know exactly where this is going because I experienced it so many times. So it makes that easier to choose again and to say, okay, I can't see the alternative yet. I can't feel it yet, but I'm determined to move past these old lessons, and I can see it dissolve in front of my eyes, and I just see an opportunity to communicate from a place where nothing is threatened, where I see this as a call for help, and I can be in assistance in answering this call. You know, and this is so cool because we become our living demonstration that this actually works, you know, in a real life situation, in a day-to-day situation, in a day-to-day setting, in a business context. I enjoy these moments. Of course, it's intense. I understand. I rarely enjoy these moments of purification. It's more like, okay, I'm hanging in there. Show me the alternative. But when the veil lifts, and I'm sure you, James, and everyone here has experienced that, it's always, oh, thank you. And my mind enters a conflict-free state, and here I am guided and can be helpful. Thank you for demonstrating that, James. That's really, well, it's a demonstration of strength, actually, not of weakness.
Yeah, thank you, Andreas. That's very helpful. In fact, your little phrase, communicating from that which cannot be threatened. I mean, that really is the important thing I see. And also remembering to laugh at the idea that I can be threatened.
Yes.
I mean, it really came back to forgetting to laugh at the idea that I can be threatened.
Yes.
And I'm actually meeting this person tomorrow. We have a pre-arranged meeting, you know, before this. We'd already arranged to meet tomorrow. And so that's going ahead. And so I just need to remember to communicate from that which cannot be threatened, and also laughing at that idea, basically. And then it should, well,
awesome.
That's it, really. I think that's very, very helpful, Andreas. Thank you.
Thank you, James. That's fantastic.
Okay, Kirsty, would you like to share?
Thanks. Yeah, thank you, James, for that question. It was and for your answer, Andreas. It was really asking what I was really wanting to know as well. But the thing for me is sometimes when I have an experience such as similar to what James has described, you know, there's an experience, a human experience, a very human experience of intense emotion, you know, betrayal or rage. But, you know, that is a human, it's ego, but it's nevertheless a very entrenched human experience. Now, do you go to Holy Spirit with your rage and with your conflict and with your fear and hope to get an answer through that, or do you kind of sit with it until you found a place of kind of plenitude and then go to Holy Spirit? This is what I'm really kind of wondering at the moment, if you understand my question.
Yeah, Kirsty, thank you. Well, go straight there, go straight to him. don't wait. Because actually we're trying to make up a function that we don't have, like if I say, okay, I'm in rage, I'm in fear, I'm in whatever state of emotional upset. And I first have to kind of sort myself out because I can come to the Holy, and then I can come to the Holy Spirit. That basically means I have to make myself worthy of him, or I need to put myself in a state where he can actually work with me. But he was created so that he can help me in whatever state I'm in. That's the whole problem, that I don't know how to do this. I can't kind of undo my old lessons by myself. So my function really is only to come to him, to say, okay, I'm totally upset. Maybe I'm better off when I'm wrong. Maybe there's another alternative. Maybe there's another way of looking at this. And this tiny, tiny opening, this tiny grain of wisdom, as Jesus calls it, is enough to allow him to undo my lessons. And so, yeah. And when he says choose again, he says don't wait. Don't wade through it, or don't do anything with it. Just allow him and allow the holy instant to undo all this for you. So that makes it so much easier and so much faster. I hope this helps, Kirsty.
Yes, thank you, Andreas. Thank you.
Okay, Catherine, would you like to speak?
Thank you, Andreas, and thank you, James and Kirsty as well, because I'm really enjoying I'm trying to put my hand down, sorry. Yeah, enjoyed the questions and the sharing of the messiness of it all, and your answers, Andreas, really helpful. So I'm not quite sure what I'm about to say, but you read out, I think, the phrase where it says you wouldn't react to figures if you knew you were dreaming. And that always slightly puzzles me, and maybe I use it to blame myself as well, because I will watch a film and I might be enraged by what a character has done or not done. And that's a perfect example where I know that film's not real. And I'll even do it when it's a film that really makes no pretense of making any sense whatsoever, like it's a lightweight film. Even then I've noticed I can get annoyed. But I can use that, I can take that to Holy Spirit. But I certainly, so to give you an example, say I get annoyed that one character chooses the wrong person, and I take that to Holy Spirit, I might get, oh, I'm choosing the wrong person here. I'm choosing ego, not Holy Spirit. So I get a gift from it. But yeah, that line, you wouldn't react if you knew there were figures in a dream, really kind of, yeah, it's not my experience. I'm very capable. Oh, you're on mute, Andreas.
Yeah, just to not interrupt to what you wanted to share. Thank you, Catherine. Yeah, well, this just shows how easily we want to identify with the form, and with the game that we're playing here. Like, no matter if it's like, it's obviously set up, it's obviously on a screen, and it's obviously being directed and filmed, and I'm sitting here in front of the screen and watching it. Even then, I'm willing to identify. That's the whole reason why I watch a film in the first place, because I want to identify. And so it doesn't, we're watching a film anyway. This is a film. And, even the most advanced teachers are distracted. So don't worry, it's just a matter of remembering again, latest when I'm feeling that I'm really upset, I can say, oh, I must have been wrong. I'm not feeling well. I hope I was mistaken in how I see these things, and can choose again. Holy Spirit, I put it into your hands and show me the situation in a new light, because I'm seeing the past here. So yeah, thank you. Everyone knows, how this works. We're drama queens, no matter how it looks like on the surface. Even with a stiff face, we still enjoy the drama.
I guess there's a nuance for me, which is it's actually much healthier for me if I come at it, oh, look, next thing I'm annoyed about, let me take that to Holy Spirit, rather than, oh, the Course is telling me I shouldn't react at all to figures because I know there are figures in a dream. So yeah, I think there's almost an ego trap in there to feel bad about something that actually is an opportunity to undo the next block to the awareness of love,
Yes. And of course, the ego will always do that. It will always quote the Course to make yourself feel bad. So this will happen again and again, but to really apply it, what you read, and to apply what you have learned, that makes all the difference. And you see, it's simply a non-judgmental invitation to remember you are completely innocent, and everyone is. We're waking up from this dream of judgment and separation. This is all. It's an opportunity. As you said, it's an opportunity, and it's not a judgment.
Thank you.
Okay. Evelyn, would you like to share?
Thank you, Dan. Yes, thank you, everybody. It's fantastic. And yes, I'm a very practiced drama queen, Andreas. And I really like that role many times. And so it's very tempting to keep it, and I often do. But I do go with the humorous side. It brings up a picture. All of this brings up a picture in me, and I can see it in myself. It's like the 3-year-old who picks up something on the street that is really very dangerous. It can be a very sharp knife or something about to explode or whatever, and I'm playing with it, and I don't want to hand it over. And the loving parent is saying, just let me have it. Yeah, I'll take care of it. And I'm saying, no, I want to play with this. And they'll hold on to it. So I'm learning slowly. But while I'm learning, don't even do anything with whatever it is. Just hand it to Jesus or Holy Spirit. And because I really know, I'm beginning to know that I do not know. And it's only a beginning, but and very often I'm tempted to still hold on to it, and I do. And that's okay, because I laugh at that too. It's like the 3-year-old. What would you do with a 3-year-old? You just love them. And yeah. So yes, I'm learning. Yes, thank you. Indeed, I am learning. Just hand it over. I can still have fun in this world, but that's not one of them. Thank you,
Evelyn. This is so important, because you're teaching compassion with yourself, and Jesus emphasizes again and again the role of the happy dreamer. The happy dreamer doesn't feel guilty that he's learning, or in other words, you don't feel guilty because you just made a mistake. It makes it really much smoother. The whole learning experience and forgiveness practice is so much easier when I'm not judging myself, when I realize I just made a mistake. I just forgot to love. I just judged and I criticized, and I could use it to tear myself down, or I can say, it doesn't matter. Now is a new moment, and I can choose anew. This is my opportunity now, no matter how long I forgot, but now I remember. So I'm choosing a miracle instead of this. The Holy Spirit judged this for me. It does help me to not make an obstacle to peace from this, but help me to allow its coming, to allow the coming of God's peace presently. So thank you for that. This is what we all want to learn, that that our mistakes are unknown in heaven. There's no one counting them and collecting them and coming up with a note.
No. No, no, it comes from also, yeah, yes, absolutely, absolutely. And this feeling of that I have to sort it out. I've created the situation. I have to make it good. I'm learning that that is not because it's the ego has made the decision. So the ego is not going to be able to sort it out. And I do know that now. I just get in deeper. And so the quicker I hand it over, the easier it is straight away. I'm learning. Thank you indeed, Andreas and everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We've come to the top of the meditation time. Please take yourself off of mute and show your appreciation to Andreas. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank
you, Andreas.
Andreas.
Thank you, Andreas.
Thanks, Andreas. Bye-bye.
Time.
Very, very grateful, Andreas. Thank you.